Hi, I'm Staley Weidman. I'm the CEO of the Catamaran Company. I'm here at the Lauderdale Boat Show with Nick Harvey, Chief Revenue Officer of Aquila Yachts. Nick, why are we here today?
Hello, Staley, and we're here because it is our soft launch of the all-new Aquila sailing catamaran project. And we've been sharing with sailing enthusiasts our new 50-foot sailing catamaran arriving early next year.
Yep, right now we're sitting on the Aquila 50 Power Catamaran, and this is a model of the Aquila 50 Sailing Catamaran. There's two things these have in common. One, they're made by the same manufacturer, and they're 50 feet long. Everything else is completely different.
Absolutely, Staley, and we're going to have an opportunity now in the next few minutes to dive into what makes this new Aquila sailing catamaran so unique.
Yep, it breaks a lot of paradigms in the industry, and there's many things that you're going to find on this Aquila 50 you won't find on any other catamaran in its class. Number one, we do it in a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6 cabin layout. These boats are designed by sailors, and what everyone's surprised by is the majority of the team at Aquila are sailors, not powerboaters, even though Aquila is the largest powerboat brand in the world.
Absolutely, Staley, and I think the idea behind the project was really to bring all of the DNA of Aquila. Obviously, the architecture is totally different on a sailing catamaran than it is on a power catamaran, but we're still able to bring what has made Aquila successful over the past 15 years, which is this DNA of innovation, of performance, of creativity, and all of this into a sailing catamaran package.
Over the last year, we've given Aquila a tremendous amount of input about what sailors want, what's important to cruisers, and what works in the charter market. Not only do they have their own charter base in the British Virgin Islands, so do we, and we know what works and what doesn't. And the components on this boat are all reliable, easy to service, and easy to find components. Nothing strange or weird.
Yeah, one thing that I would mention, Staley, as well, is obviously what has made the reputation of Aquila over the past 15 years has been the durability of the yachts as well. Our construction processes are very unique in the world. One thing that I like to point out is that we build 100% of our yachts using vinyl ester resin. Vinyl ester resin is an upgraded type of resin compared to what most boat manufacturers use, which is polyester resin.
And no wood. A lot of the manufacturers use balsa core. This is all closed cell foam coring. People are always surprised that there's no wood, but on the interior, there's plenty of wood finishes, so it looks rich and looks very, very nice inside.
All of the bulkheads on the Aquila 50 sail are laminated. The big benefit of laminated bulkheads over plywood bulkheads is it gives us the ability to use the thickness that we need in a place where we need it, as opposed to just one thickness of plywood carried out through the entire bulkhead. So you save weight, which is better for the performance of the boat and ultimately for the owner.
There's a couple features on here that everyone's surprised about, and I'm going to point out a couple of them here, and you'll see some similarities in some of the designs on the Aquilas. Number one, each cabin has its own entrance. You can see the two bow cabins have their separate entrances here. Each cabin has its own separate shower and separate head, so no wet heads. Here you have a walkway from the helm down to the foredeck. You'll see that on all of the Power Cat ranges. And then one of the things that's the neatest feature here is this platform we're sitting on. Up here is a crane that Nick's pointing out on the back that lifts up the tender and puts it on the back. This articulates in and out of the back of the boat. It has one lifting point. It's a lot less complicated than a set of davits, a lot more reliable than hydraulic lips with straps and hoses and a lot of systems being immersed in salt water. And when this is not being used, it easily retracts into the coach roof. And it can be used also to lift up water toys. You can see we got a few sea bobs here. I think I've seen people with hammocks hanging off of these in the water, which looks really cool.
You know what I love the most about it, Staley, is the fact that, the difficulty of using a underwater hydraulic platform is that you end up with water up to your knees. You're trying to position the dinghy on it, but you can't see the chucks underneath of it. Somebody else has the remote control. You're lifting and having to go back down to reset it.
One lifting point couldn't be easier.
You can see everything. You're eye level to see your chucks and how you're dropping. So it's just like operating a crane, super easy.
Yeah, this is so smartly engineered, and it's slightly off center, so it's lifting the engine side of the tender up here instead of in the middle. It's very clever. No more hydraulics, no more straps, no more alignment issues, no more reliability issues. 100% reliable system. Simple, effective, great value.
One of the things that we did in the design of the boat as well, Staley, you'll notice we worked with this very famous architecture firm called J&J Design out of Europe. It's a 40-year-old firm that's been designing for some of the most renowned boat brands. We've worked with them on some of our Paracab projects, but they've got a lot of experience in sailing as well. We asked them to combine the classical stylish look of a sloping window line that we see on catamarans with the vertical window in the salon so that we could do the walk-through door from the salon directly to the bow cockpit. And they've done a beautiful job at integrating this. What's this going to provide to the owner of an Aquila 50 sail is the perfect combination of the practicality of the door and the good look of the boat looking at it from the side. And then take us through what we did in the bow cockpit specifically.
Well, on this side here, you have two large lounging areas, a huge area to sit, an opening door, so there's a flow through of air all the way through the boat, opening windows in the front of the windows, a vertical window design that gives you great visibility all the way through, the ability to step down on both sides from the helm, and of course the separate entrances to each cabin.
One of the things that I like about the design and some of the choices that we made is the fact that we went for a double spreader rig. And when you look at other brands available in the 50-foot market, most of the brands have gone with a single spreader rig. Staley, you've been sailing your entire life. You know the benefits of double spreader rigs, more opportunity to tune the rig for better performance.
Yeah, strength, reliability, resale value, it's all there in the design. One of the things that Nick had pointed out about the sloping design here, you'll notice the coach roof dips down on the sides. On this side inside the salon, you don't need the full headroom, so we're able to reduce that area down to make this walkway very efficiently on the side, because inside the salon, this is where there's seating and also storage there on the sides. Another thing that's very unique about these front forward cabins is they don't have to be cabins. They can be a workshop, they can be an office, they can be a laundry facility. There's countertops, lots of storage. So these cabins are extremely flexible.
Absolutely. Now, if we step up and take a look a little bit at the cockpit configuration, we chose a center helm. We feel that this is really the best place to be for the helmsman, with the controls for the lines, all at the fingertips on either side of the helm. And then behind the helm, we're going to find this large U-shaped salon area, flybridge salon area, almost like a terrace up on top of the flybridge there. And it's very clever how the designers have integrated this retractable crane you were talking about, for example. It retracts underneath the seats of the flybridge area, so it doesn't actually use up any space as it is combined into the settee. I also love how they integrated the possibility of completely closing out the access to the flybridge so that in case of rain, you don't have any rain coming into the cockpit on the lower side. Talking about the cockpit, lots of things obviously to mention there. The bar. The bar is part of the DNA of Aquila. We have that on all of our flybridge motor catamarans, and we've obviously integrated that on the 52.
Everybody loves it. It's a home run. People see that and they know that that's something they have to have in their cruising cat. Another thing that I wanted to point out is the Aquila 50 sailing cat comes in a diesel version and also a hybrid electric version. We can't see it on the model, but I want to point out there's space here for solar that's mounted flush from the factory, also around the back and the full top of the bimini here, giving you a total of 4 kilowatts of power. That matches perfectly with the large lithium battery bank that's available for the diesel power option. And also there's a much larger battery bank that's available for the hybrid version with the electric drives.
Staley, let's talk a little bit about the hull design and construction itself. We made the choice to have sacrificial keels on the Aquila 50 sail. What other options are available? And in your opinion, why are sacrificial keels the way to go?
Well, we've proved it over the years. It's important to have these keels a little bit deeper than the propellers and the rudders in case you ever run aground. Also, the boat has the ability when it's hauled out to sit on those keels. And then if there's ever any damage on the keels, this hull is actually molded in one piece. Most of our competitors, the hulls are built in 3 separate pieces where the outside and the inside are part of the keel. But if there's damage to that, then it's damage to the hull. But this part of the keel can be completely removed, and it's not actually a part of the rest of the hull. So it's safe and worry-free.
Yeah, and I think that, it's obviously been, part of the reputation of Aquila since the inception in 2011, that, we build a boat that is solid and brings peace of mind to the owner. So we're really going to check all of the boxes that an owner would expect, on an ocean-going 50-foot vessel. Now, we're not necessarily trying to be the racy style of catamaran, but more aiming for the center of that cruising boat market. Tell us a little bit more about what you see in this cruising boat market and why you think it's the right positioning for us.
Well, we've been in the business since 1989. So nobody knows cruising catamarans better than the Catamaran Company. We've sold more new and pre-owned catamarans than anyone else in the world. So we have a very good idea of what the market is looking for and what's important to them. And all these design features that Aquila has integrated into this design, we believe makes the 50 the best model in its class in the market.
Yeah, and I think that, if I had to kind of summarize a little bit, our tagline is "Out there starts here." And what we want to convey with this tagline is really that if you have a project to take your family or to go cruising as a couple on a sailing catamaran that is going to provide reliability, innovation, you should really take a look at the Aquila 50 sail, either in the hybrid ocean drive propulsion or the standard diesel propulsion, and talk to the representative of the Catamaran Company, as they are the true experts in their field. So I think we have an incredible catamaran here, Staley, that flows incredibly well. From what you mentioned in the back, the tender management system to the cockpit, we didn't mention, but the rear portion of the cockpit settee actually swivels out 90 degrees to open up that cockpit completely. The rest of the flow in the catamaran is quite amazing.
There's a long list of features to explore on the Aquila 50. And what we're going to do is have a look at the 54, the 50, and the 46 that we have here at the show today, and look at some of the features that we see on these Power Cats that we know are important and that we're going to have on our 50. We're going to have doors like this for the entrance on the bow of the Aquila 50. These will be on the hard forward bridge deck area, and they open up like this with stairs that go straight into the cabins. Each cabin has its own entrance, separate shower, and separate head. On the Aquila 50, it's designed for living. One of the most popular features on the entire Aquila line of yachts is these bar stools. And on the Aquila 50, we have sliding windows that slide to the side. We have the bar that opens up, and these 2 fixed bar stools here. Very, very popular design, and we have it integrated in the 50 for sure. On the Aquila 50, the flybridge access is direct to the deck. We have a walkway like this on both sides. and it gives you immediate access to the foredeck for picking up a mooring ball, dropping the anchor, or anything you need to do on the bow. There's no other sailing catamaran that has access from the flybridge to the foredeck, and on the Aquila 50, we have the same walkway on both sides. On the starboard aft deck of the Aquila 50, we have an integrated barbecue that's concealed. These are Kenyan grills, super reliable, very easy to keep clean, easy to use, and when not in use, conceals down and makes a nice countertop on the aft end of the starboard side of the cockpit. Aquila 50 sailing has a very similar galley arrangement like what we see on the 46 here. You have an opening, but we have sliding windows on the side. You have all the beautiful cabinetry and the high quality fit and finish, Forion countertops, induction stovetop, Bosch ovens, wine cooler, and a full-size Samsung fridge. You'll find all of these features in the Aquila 50. On the Aquila 50, we have the same C-zone system you see here. This monitors all of the systems on the boat, water tanks, voltage, power in and out of the boat, turning the generator on, turning all of the lights on, and monitoring all of the systems on the boat. This is also replicated on the display, on the Ray Marine display on the flybridge. We're here in one of the guest cabins. You can see how nicely appointed this is. Beautiful cabinetry, plenty of storage and cabinets, and U-shaped berth that's easy to get around, easy to make up, and a couple that can get off on either side. Every head on the Aquila 50 has a separate shower. This shower compartment has a proper door, a shower wand, a drain, and it's large enough for someone to really take a shower in it. There's not a small plastic shower curtain. It's a very nice quality shower. One of the things people are most impressed by in a sailing cat of this size, particularly for a boat that can have 6 cabins with 6 separate shower compartments in it, and a nice washer dryer for clothes. This is Elaine Rass from Aquila. Elaine, can you tell everyone what you do at Aquila and how we work together?
Yeah, good morning. So good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Yeah, my name's Elaine Ross. I'm the global brand director for Aquila Catamaran. So when it comes to power cats or sail cats, especially in the sail cat sector, work very closely with Staley and Hugh and the team from Catco, Brent. So we were at the factory with your team member Hugh this past June, July. And it's truly a collaborative experience in designing and developing the first model, the Aquila 50 sail, but then on top of that, the Aquila 44 sail, as well as 63 sail. So we value Catco's inputs. You know, they've been doing this a long time, extremely knowledgeable, give us a lot of great pointers, but from a manufacturer point of view, we also take that feedback and we try to incorporate what we can. And that's really what we do and how we make the end product better for our customer and their user experience. But some of the things that I do, I work very closely with our marketing department, obviously with you guys, as well as our other partners in the business. And then also on the design a little bit, helping out where I'm asked, and working with our engineering and technical team. So a little bit of a jack in the box of all things for me.
It's been very easy for us working and collaborating with the Aquila team. Number one, you're a sailor, and everyone on your team's a sailor, so it fits in perfectly with the brand and our mission representing cruisers and charter clients and charter boat owners. It's been incredible.
Yeah, no, we all come from sailing backgrounds. You know, my brother and I grew up born in South Africa, born on sailboats pretty much. Grandfather built boats, father built boats. He worked for Group Beneteau. The moorings, I sail competitively throughout the world. John, my brother, was on the U.S. windsurfing team for the Olympics. You know, so it's we truly are sailors at heart. So we're very excited to be getting back into sailing where our roots started and where we aspire to be, sailing around the world one day.
Elaine, can you talk a little bit about the things that people don't see in the construction of the Aquila 50? I mean, the outside of the boat looks great, and woodwork's fantastic. The in-house stainless steel's top-notch. Everyone can see that. What can they not see that's important?
That's all the pretty stuff is on the stuff on the outside, but there's a lot of stuff that Aquila does below the skin that you don't see until you start peeling away the layers. So first and foremost, we use no structural wood. below the water line anywhere in any of our Aquilas, including the sail. So
Wood in the cabinets, not wood in the hull.
correct, which is important because if you jump down into an engine room, if they're using marine grade plywood and they're overlaying that with fiberglass, eventually over time, it starts soaking in water, it becomes less structural support than it should be. So we don't do that. All of our bulkheads, all of our stringers, they're molded, vacuum infused, vinyl ester resin infused. So that makes a very stiff boat, and that's what we carry down, what we will be carrying down from our power cats into the sail. So obviously sail is quite different. As you know, you get a lot of flex in sailboats, especially catamarans. Well, our intent is not to have that flex, and we know we can do that. We do that in the power cats. It's very different where other people are going from sailing cats to power cats. We're doing it in reverse because we know we've got the strength in our build quality that's going to translate very easily over to the sail.
Stiff, light, strong, long-lasting value.
Correct, exactly. You hit the nail on the head, and that's really important when it comes to resale value. So if you have this boat 5-10 years and then you're moving up hopefully into another Aquila, into a bigger one, getting our product on the retail market or brokerage market, it's going to be the same thing that we have in our power cats. They hold their value, best in class, and we expect the same thing on the
I've been doing surveys for 30 years, not doing them myself, but attending them and representing buyers and sellers. And the balsa core has always been a problem.
Yeah.
Maybe not the first year, maybe not the second year, but over the life of that. And I'm so happy to see that we've got vinyl ester resin infused hull construction with no wood.
Yeah, exactly. And then also just in the construction process at the shipyard, climate control, humidity control, managing all of those aspects during the build process is super important. And for anyone that wants to come and visit our shipyard, we love that. We encourage people to come. It is a long way to go, but it is truly an experience when you do come to our shipyard. It's unlike anything you've been to probably before. Super environmentally friendly, state-of-the-art, huge, 1.1 million square feet, so about 110,000 square meter factory or shipyard.
An impressive facility.
Yeah, it is. And the team that we have, we have a mentor program that everyone comes up through that works in the shipyard. So it truly is a family, or it takes a village.
One of the things that I noticed when we first started looking at this project is that on the Aquila 50, the whole hull is infused in vinyl ester in one piece with 2 sacrificial keels on it.
Correct. Yeah, it's a one-shot mold, so we're not joining and having a bonding place. So it's a one-shot mold, very, very important to us. That helps with your rigidity again, along with your bulkheads, your resin-infused bulkheads, and then on top of that, everything is teethed in together. So if you think of it, how old woodworkers used to use with the mortar and tenon joints, it's the same thing that we're doing.
Almost like dovetail, where everything's together perfectly.
Yep, exactly. So again, that makes for a very strong boat, that's going to translate to a better ownership in the long run.
Long-lasting value, very important in the resale market.
Exactly.
So January 2026, we'll have the first boat available here in America to show. It'll be here in Florida, and we'll be able to really show everyone how special this boat is in January, and then we'll have it featured at our booth at the Miami Boat Show.
Very much looking forward to hull number 1 arriving, Staley, and going sailing on board the all-new Aquila 50 sail.
Yeah, we're gonna have a great time on it. That's for sure.